Good morning. I'm not special, but you're subscribing to my Twitter feed, and so therefore I'd like to share a few thoughts, step on the soapbox, and talk about remote work. Because I've been doing remote work for the last 7 years, and now many of you are being asked to do remote work, even though that's something that's not usual for you and your jobs, and you're not familiar with the remote work situations. And I have to say that is a harder challenge for you than it is for me. And it's been 7 years now that I've been doing my job from here, from this office, effectively. And getting into work at home situation where you don't have a proper office set up, where you have your kids around you, with the kids not being able to go to school, is immensely harder than what I've been doing in the last 7 years. And I have to admit that I'm so distracted by the news and what's going around in the world, where discussions also around the family and the job that my wife does, who is in healthcare, etc., that it is really difficult for me to focus. And I believe that I am quite disciplined in working from home and sitting here and just getting my job done, and I am having difficulties to get the work done, because there is just too much news. There is just so much going on. And I find myself being fairly unable to ignore all this and tune out and just basically just shut out the world and do my job, because interacting with customers, interacting with the outside world is a good chunk of my job. So therefore, I'm kind of forced to observe the things that are happening. So this is difficult for you, but it's also difficult for folks like me, who have been who are working from home all the time. And I hope that employers generally will understand, that managers will generally understand that if you in a working from home situations and you're being forced into it now, that the world will be different, and that you can't do the job that you're doing normally. What's great about working at Microsoft, luckily, is that the company is very good about their internal response. There are a few things where we could even be more aggressive, but one of the things that's new today in the news and the email that we got company-wide is that if employees at Microsoft have kids at home and the kids can't go to school, and you have to pay attention to your kids and not to work, then that is okay, without even reporting, doing anything written. That is okay for at least 2 weeks, without dipping into any sick leave or vacation quotas, which is something that is I think is a good move, and and 2 weeks is effectively a statement that they made today. Look into the future, who knows how this goes, but the company is taking care of their employees in that way. And while it is the law in Germany that you can take time off, effectively sick time, on behalf of your kids, and you have guaranteed pay through times of sickness, per instance of sickness. That's something that we have in Germany, have in other European countries. That's not the case for the United States, and so that's very helpful. The situation in the United States is something that concerns me a lot, especially because the epicenter of this entire crisis is just around Microsoft, Kirkland, where the most affected healthcare facility or elderly care facility is, where they have about 20 people who died there, is more or less down the street from Microsoft, and so you can imagine that lots of the people, basically everybody I work, my entire team is over there, and so I'm quite concerned about their well-being, and of course, people are obviously freaked out about what the situation is. So that clearly impacts how we look at the situation. Clearly impacts me as feeling like I'm over there even though I'm not. Luckily, and all the reports, everything that I'm reading, kind of really focus on the Seattle area without being there, suggests that the outbreak over there is at least as bad as it is in Italy, without being properly managed. And I have folks in my immediate team who are reporting symptoms. They're sick at home, reporting symptoms, and they're not getting tested, which I frankly don't understand. That's not a problem with the company, obviously, but that's a problem of the healthcare system over there. So we'll see how this goes. But the overarching thought here is, if you're trying to work from home and it just doesn't work, that's it. People who have more experience than you in that work or home situations are struggling as well with the situation because it's just too much that's going on. Be safe.